In this video, I'm going to review your Module 2, which is also Chapter 2 quiz. This is just a supplement to the reading. I'm making this lecture video with the assumption that you've read the chapter, and the numbers that I will use are different than those on your quiz, so make sure not to just take my answers and put them into your quiz. So in Chapter 2, you read about this formula here at the bottom of the screen, and so I'm going to keep it up on a couple of screens just as a reminder. A seller paid $435,000 for a residence. The seller wants to list it at a 20% profit after paying the broker a 5% commission. What is the listing price? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is say we want to take the $435,000, and since we want to increase that by 20%, we're going to multiply it by 1.20. So in other words, this amount right here, the 435, is 100%. We want to increase it 20%. So by adding 100% and 20%, we get 1.20%, which equals 522. Then we've got to remove 5% in commission. So to do that, because we'll be removing 5% in commission, we need to add that 5% to the sales price. And the way we do that is we say that 1 minus 0.05 for 5% equals 0.95. So in order to increase this 522 by another 5%, we take the 522 and we divide it by 0.95, which gives us, or I'm going to round this number to 549,474, and that is my answer. Okay, what would a property have to sell for in order to net the seller $216,414 after deducting a 6% commission? Okay, well, let's start with this 6% commission. So if we have 1 and we subtract 0.06, that leaves us with 0.94. So now I can take the 216,414 and divide it by 0.94. This is going to tell me how much I need to mark the property up to end at 216, and that number is going to be 230,228, and that's numbers rounded. An owner offers to list with you on the basis that he net $135,250 after paying your broker a 6% commission and closing costs to the buyer equal to 5% of the selling price. What would the property need to sell for to meet the owner's net objective? And we're going to round our answer to the nearest dollar. So let's start with this. So we want to end with the 135. So let's look at how much we need to mark that up. Well, we know we need to add in for 6% commission and 5% closing costs. 6 and 5 are 11. So we know that we need to mark that up 11%. So to do that, we'll take our desired net and 100% minus 11% equals 89%. So we're going to divide that by 0.89, and that gives us 250 divided by 0.89. Tells us that we need to sell for 151,966, and that's rounded to the nearest dollar. After deducting $5,000 in closing costs and a 5% broker's commission, the seller netted $281,352. What was the sales price of the house? So let's start by taking the sales price and adding in the closing costs. There's a 5% broker's commission, so 1 minus 0.05 for 5% leaves us 0.95 or 95%. So we're going to take the 286,352 and divide by 0.95, and that's going to give us 301,423, and that is the answer. What did a vacant lot sell for if the seller netted $137,000 after paying a 6% commission? Let's start with our commission. So 1 minus 6% or 0.06 leaves us with 0.94. So 137 divided by 0.94 to see how much we need to mark up is 145,745. A seller nets $154,000 at closing after paying $2,000 in closing costs and paying the broker a brokerage fee equal to 7% of the selling price. For how much did the property sell? So 154 plus 2,000 closing costs equals 156. Seven percent is 0.07. So 1 minus 0.07 equals 0.93. So we're going to divide our 156 by 0.93, and that gives us the answer 111. Oops, erase that. $167,742 is our answer. How much does the seller net after paying the broker a 6.5% fee and $3,200 in closing costs on a sales price of $343,200? So let's start with the 0.065 commission. So 343 $200 times our commission gives us a brokerage fee of $22,308. Isn't that nice? That's why you're getting your license. So to that, let's add our closing costs. And that gives us 80552. So we can take our 34,200 and subtract our 25,508, and that gives us our answer, which is 317,692. So in this one we did it a little different. So we calculated how much our brokerage fee was and then added it to the closing costs. So that one's a little bit different than what we did earlier. You bought a lot for $95,000 and sold it 1 month later for $110,000. What percent of profit do you realize? Well, let's see. 110 is what we made. We bought it for 95, so let's subtract that, and that gives us $15,000 profit. So what percentage of profit do we realize? So what you do in that case is you take the difference and you divide it by the first number. So that's divided by 95 equals 0.1579, but it wants the percentage. So remember, when it wants percentage, we have to multiply by 100. So that says we got 15.79% profit. Seller wants to sell a lot at 22% net profit. She purchased the lot for $65,540 in order to give the seller her desired profit, and in order for her to pay her broker an 8% brokerage fee. What must the selling price be? And it wants us to round to the nearest number. So let's take our percentages. So if we have 22% plus 8%, that is 30%. So we can put that in decimal point of 0.3. If we say our 1 minus 0.3, that leaves us with 0.7 or 70%. 0.7. So 65,540 divided by 0.7 equals 93. 263, if I round it. A house sold for $162,670, which was 90% of the list price. For what price was the house listed? So we've got 90%. So if we say 162,670 divided by 0.90 for our 90% equals 180,744 is what the home listed for. I wish you luck on your quiz, and in this chapter, if you have any questions, reach out to me and let me know.